Welcome to the show, everyone. I am so excited about networking with everybody out there. We're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We'll share the show later on. The kickoff of the big day is tomorrow. I have with me Peter Arona. He's the owner of ABCDMedicare.com. And you, my friend, are pretty busy, and tomorrow is a very special day for you.
Yeah, it's very busy. Since October 1, we've been talking to a lot of current customers, and people have been calling in to talk about their plans. We can show the plans, review people's plans right now. Tomorrow's the big day. It's
big day.
Medicare annual enrollment period, so we're excited to be able to start enrolling people into the plan changes, and there are a lot of changes coming up for 2025.
Well, I want to talk about something before we go into a lot of those changes, something that you want people to know about. Special enrollment periods, they have changed, you said, for 2025.
Yeah, so the traditional Medicare annual enrollment period, what we're talking about right now, is October 15th to December 7th. Once you sign up and enroll, that plan kicks off and starts on January 1 of next year, 2025. On January 1, from January 1 to March 31st, there is the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period, which allows you people to make a one-time change for the following year, for that same year that goes effective the following month. So if you made a change in January or in February, it'll go in effect the following month. Now, there's going to be some different approaches to other special enrollment periods. For example, people who are considered have extra help, or they also call it low-income subsidy for their prescription drugs. They are no longer allowed to change their plan. Once they're locked in, they were able to change their plan once a quarter for the first 3 quarters. Now, once they're locked in, they can't change their plan. So that's going to be a little bit different for next year. So the insurance market, along with the CMS, the government, are trying to stabilize the plan, so there's not a lot of switching going around. Another important thing that people need to, and so their decision during the Medicare annual enrollment period is going to be important. These people tend to not make a decision thinking they have extra time or they can change later on or it's not a big deal. Now the decision becomes more important during this period, as well as the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period. So there will be bigger limitations on when they can switch. Also, rules for people who are dual eligible. These are people who have Medicare, who qualify for Medicare, but also have Medicaid. In Arizona, Medicaid is known as Access, the Arizona Cost Containment System. So they have 2 plans together. They have Medicare and Medicaid. There's a strong push to, once you're in a plan, once you're enrolled, you cannot change that plan unless it's going to be aligned with the same insurance company. So with Medicare and Medicaid, a common thing that happens is that somebody may be in a Medicare Advantage plan. I'll use United Healthcare as an example. They have a great dual plan, but their Access plan, which is the second payer plan, is sometimes with another carrier. It could be Banner, it could be Arizona Complete Health, could be Health Choice, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield, and those plans aren't aligned. So next year, once those plans are aligned, you can no longer change. The only time you can change is if it's not aligned and you're going to move them to align them into the same plan.
Wow.
So again, they're trying to stabilize and give continuity to the system. And so the switching and moving around is going to be limited, right? There's going to be special reasons where you can do it. The only time someone who is aligned now, so let's just say go back to that United Healthcare example, they have the United Healthcare Medicare Complete Dual Plan on the Medicare Advantage side. And maybe they also have the community plan on the Access side. The only time they can change is if they actually want to drop it altogether and just stay on Access and go to original Medicare and to a prescription drug plan. So these people are the ones who need the most help. They have the least amount of resources, and so they're going to be limited where they can move, right? Which in essence is going to be good for the stabilization of continuity and trying to get people aligned with the right plan. Because when the secondary payer is not lined up with the main plan, which is the Medicare Advantage plan, there could be some lack of continuity. It doesn't really affect the member, but within the insurance world, there's a lack of continuity.
So, if it's, how does somebody know? I mean, how would they know if it coincides, I guess?
Yeah, so most people have 2 cards.
Yeah,
so most people on a dual plan or dual eligible have a Medicare Advantage plan, and they actually have another card that says, here's your Access card. A lot of them don't pay attention to it. They don't realize that they have 2 cards. One is primary, one is secondary, but there are two cards, right? And so there's going to have to be some alignment and probably some an awareness of what's going on with their insurance, right?
Right, but that's what this show is for. I love it. Because you're making people aware of things that probably people don't even know about.
Yeah,
right?
so right now, this coming year, 25, there's going to be a push to get people aligned. And in 26, I know there's a year away, maybe a year and a half away, or a year and a quarter away.
It seems like it's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to force people to align it, right? So there's going to be a push to where if you didn't make the change, if you're not aligned, then we're going to align you. And they're saying that your United Healthcare primary plan in this example, we're going to, maybe you have Arizona Complete Health as the access plan. They're going to move you on the access side to be in the United Healthcare Community Plan, which is the plan that United Healthcare has on the access side, right? So they're going to move you if you don't move it, right? So it's going to become to a point where they're going to try to streamline the process and stabilize stuff in insurance, as well as behind the scenes, most people don't pay attention to what's going on, but it does support, in this case, United Healthcare having the both sides of the plans and coverage on continuity as well.
What I love about Peter is that he is your seniors advocate. You are all about education, all about helping people understand, because as you're talking, I'm almost getting cross-eyed to try and understand.
It's a lot of information, it's a lot of information. Even the carriers are trying to explain it, and even people within some of the carriers get confused, right? And so we really have to take a deep dive on what's happening. You really have to work with a specialist. Now more than ever, it's really important to work with somebody local who understands your marketplace, where you live, your area, the Valley of the Sun, because everything is different. I sell in other states. I sell in 13 other states, and it's difficult to understand what's happening in those other states without having a long-term discussion with your clients and understand what their needs are and who their doctors are. And I'll be honest with you, I don't understand how people call a 1-800 number, Joe Namath is supposed to tell you this is the best plan, and say, yeah, that's right for me. Those people have no idea what's going on in your community.
Right, no, because, and plus, you want somebody, first of all, one thing about Peter we like to talk about. First of all, again, I told you, he is your seniors advocate. He's all about educating you, but you also speak 3 languages. This is something that makes you different and stands out, because tell him that you speak.
Yeah, well, obviously you speak English, hablamos en español. We can speak Spanish with fluently with people there.
Very important.
Which is very important, especially in Arizona. Even within the father-parent relationship and the daughter-son siblings, one speaks more Spanish than the other, so there's a separation sometimes, and sometimes it's just better to explain it in the Spanish, in their own language. And then obviously Medicare, and that's what we're talking about, these special enrollment periods, the Plan A, the B, the C. So all this stuff is critical. It becomes knowledge-based, right? So we rarely sell with pressure. For example, this morning I met with one of my current customers, and she's like, do I have Plan C? I mean, she's been my customer for a while, and I'm, yes, you have Plan C. Plan C is A, B, is a Medicare Advantage plan, right? A, B plus D equals C, right? Sometimes it's just M and A, right? It's just an equation. It becomes scientific, but you have to be working with the people that are invested in this, in the market, invested in being in this space.
And it's a free service to you. It makes sense to speak to somebody who is local here. Don't call those 8, especially this year of all the years. It starts tomorrow, folks.
Yeah.
You can call them today, you can talk to them, but tomorrow is the big day where you can really start making those changes and having them pick the different plans.
Right.
Whether it's you or someone that you know, please make sure that you make a phone call and talk to him. His phone number is 602-770-9062. The website is ABCDMedicare.com. He has a couple of more. We're going to talk about those when we come back. But this year of all the years, there's a lot of changes. He speaks both English and Spanish and Medicare. Again, it's 602-770-9062. Hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute.
That was a good session.
Okay, good. Now, I want to come back, but I want to,
I don't know the answer. The Medicare schedule notice a change, and this time period is going to be extremely important this year. Right now,
We can start off with that since you just heard the
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah, I think we're perfect. I think we're fine. I think everything we've done is just perfect, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, it's just education, right? And
Right.
I think people
But I
here.
do wanna go back, the next thing I really wanna focus on is this one here, not, at first the ANOC,
Mhm.
3, and then 4 is gonna be, about what people are saying.
Okay.
You know, okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about that if we get to the events, who will not.
Yeah.
Cause you know, you start talking and you're going and going and
Yeah,
going,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's okay.
You just interrupt me. Shut up, Peter.
No, no, no,
You
no,
know
no.
too much.
But everything that I do, that you do, I really love, because that you really put your heart and soul into it. You really do, Peter.
Yeah, I hope that, and I hope that comes across because, you know,
It
and
does.
not just to you, but to the people that I meet with, that I'm investing
I wanna
a
say
lot of
that.
stuff, right, into being the best that I can be so that they have the right information.
Totally, totally. I wanna say that when I come back, okay?
Yeah, I think it's important, you know,
I do
because,
too.
you know, we're not, there's a difference between.
No, listen, there's a lot of you, but everyone's different. Everyone's different. I know, it's been crazy.
This thing is funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
Did you do that yourself?
Yeah, I did it all myself. The only thing I didn't do is I had someone design this little logo. It's actually a logo they made for me, and then I designed it around it.
I love it.
And then this little ball that they had the guy do.
You ought to get one of these.
Huh?
Put on your car.
They give away a bobblehead doll, like.
Oh, I love it. I bet you could have that made on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Give them away like a little raffle.
Oh, I think it'd be so much fun.
Who's your agent? Does he have a bobblehead?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, but that, you're right about this time of year, oh my gosh, I mean, everything is just coming in and nonstop about, you know, the election, it's just amazing.
yeah, I mean, and you can address it. Listen, everyone's top of the mind is the election, but don't let this get away
Right, I
from
think
you,
that's
right?
important
Yeah.
too.
You know, there's a lot of stuff distracting you from making this a focus, but make sure you get
This
this
is
done.
important.
Yes.
This is for your health, this is for you, for your,
It's
you know,
like,
your.
don't let the election be a distraction to
Right.
get this done.
In 1 to 7 days, and including lifetime warning. Now's the time to take control or eliminate drug, alcohol, smoking, weight gain, stress, and depression.
My customers are funny. I had a lady text me, did we schedule a meeting? And I'm like, I don't even remember. I
Oh,
said,
no.
I said, let me look at my calendar. So I searched my calendar. Yep, I got you for
Good.
November,
Yeah,
number
'cause that would be
7.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
So welcome back, everyone. You know, during the break, we talk a lot about, because we're still live here, people don't even realize it, but we are live on Facebook during the break, and we do talk a lot. Couple different things. First of all, I want to say something. Number one, tomorrow for seniors, big, huge day. Don't let the election distract you, because this is something that needs to be done also.
Right.
You know, you can talk as much as you want, but make sure you take care of these things. And if you're hearing something here today, please call Peter and schedule an appointment so that he can sit down and talk to you. One thing I also want to talk to you about, Peter, because I've known you now so long,
Yeah.
forever, and Peter, it really, really, really does care so much about each and every one of your clients, but also just about this whole education process. You love what you do, and you put your heart and your soul into everything that you do, and I feel like it exudes from you, to me.
Yeah, you know, and that's probably just my personality coming out. Since I was a little kid, maybe it was driven by my parents. You know, if you're gonna do something, do it right. You know, if you want to be an expert in any field, you know, there's like a 10,000 hour rule or 10 years of expertise to do that. I mean, I'm approaching 10 years. I'm still learning, right? Every year, Medicare's changing.
They make it so you have to.
Yeah, so we're constantly learning and we're constantly teaching, and we want to be the experts in the community to be able to talk to people about this stuff. I purposely reach out to carriers. I did it this morning. Hey, I saw something on your summary of benefits. It doesn't look right. Can you double check that? Can you check with your people, make sure that's not a typo? And they're like, wow, we didn't even catch that either, right? And so we're constantly working in partnership. We're not just agents and selling plans or helping people find plans. We're working in concert with some of our partner carriers to make sure that we understand the plan. Because when we talk to our customers, we want to make sure they understand how the coverage works for them, right? So it's critically important from my perspective to be an expert, to be a student in this space, to just kind of, and then sometimes maybe that passion or that over the topness comes across, right? But that's what I want.
That what makes you good.
Yeah, that's what we
great.
want. We want to make sure our customers are confident in that they're working with myself, and we'll spend the extra time to teach them how the plan works.
Now, you can call him direct at 602-770-9062. The website is ABCDMedicare.com. Also want to really put here really quickly, somebody turns 65 every day, so you also have another great website for people to go onto that they can go to, which is the 65 and what is
It's T65.us.
Yeah, there it is. It's T65.us. All of his education that he brings here on the radio, he also has it onto that website for anybody turning 65. Also, we got to do this. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I don't know who's there.
It's Medicare knocking at your doors.
It is, and Medicare is knocking right now. And Peter has been doing this for almost 10 years, right? Is that what you said?
Correct, yep.
And what I love about him is it's all about you and helping you make sure that you are on the right plan this year. Of all the years, you want to make sure that you are on the right plan. So call him and make sure that you just take that time. Don't get yourself involved with anything else. I mean, this is your time, and especially with all the different questions that people are going to have. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Call them at 602-770-9062. Go to ABCDMedicare.com, or you can even go to ANOC.com. And now let's talk about this. First of all, how many people, even though we've talked about this, how many people are reading their ANOC?
I want to say it's probably about 50% of the people who receive them at this point have read it.
Yeah, I bet more than that, because most people don't.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They don't anyway.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that there are changes. And that's what people need to do. You need to realize when you listen to this, maybe it's you or someone that you know, big changes in the world of Medicare this year.
Right. When someone becomes my customer, we put them into our profile system, a customer relationship manager, CRM, and they get notifications from us, right? Hey, ANOC is going to be coming. Make sure you read this important document.
Nice.
Schedule an appointment with myself. If you don't understand it, there's a link that they get to update their information so that when I speak with them, I already have it, which is really a neat thing, because people call me and they say, hey, I want to meet with you. I was referred to you either through one of my partners, or they heard me on the radio or saw me, right, doctor. And the first question is, hey, let me take some basic information so I can send you couple of links so you can complete. One of them is a scope of appointment. It's required by law that people sign the scope that says that they're inviting me to speak with them about Medicare. We got to wait 48 hours after they sign that form. It's kind of crazy. And then the other thing that we do is send them a request for information. Where's your doctors? What prescriptions are on? Why don't you like your current plan? What's happening to your current plan? Why are you looking, right? So that when we meet with them, we have a better feeling and have a better understanding as to how I can help them, right? And so these are all little details that help me become more efficient, not only for myself, but for my customers.
Right, and he does speak 3 languages, English, Spanish fluently, and also he speaks Medicare fluently too.
Yeah, correct.
But I want to say this again, people listen up. Anybody who does speak Spanish, or if you have a loved one that you're caring for, or maybe you yourself or someone that you know, please have them speak in, especially of this year, in their tongue. That's going to make it so much easier for them too. Again, that phone number to call is 602-770-9062. I want to ask you, Peter, what have people been saying? Because you've been talking to people already.
Right.
They might have not been able to change, but you have been already talking to people and getting them ready. Tell me what people are saying.
Yeah, so without a doubt, this big change coming, the most dramatic change happening in Medicare for 2025 is impacting a lot of stuff in terms of their decision. When we first started a couple of weeks ago, maybe at the beginning of October, we started talking about the ANOC, and it's important to read this document. And the estimates were like, about 36% of the people are going to change their plan. Well, my personal data, of the probably 60 people that I've spoken to who are ready to make a change starting tomorrow, about 58 of them out of 60 are changing their plan.
Wow.
That's how dramatic it is. That's a lot bigger number than 36%. Again, I'm a small data point in the world of Medicare, but if that's a reference as to what's going on, you need to look at your ANOC. There are big changes happening, whether your costs are going up, your maximum out of pocket's going up, your copay for specialists is huge. Dental, vision, and hearing has been reduced in a lot of plans. Some plans have stabilized that in terms of trying to when they're going to make the change. But it's important to look at your ANOC, understand what changes are happening. But again, my personal data is about 58 out of 60 people are making a plan change, right? And that's a high number of people, and it's going to continue to be that way.
And the reason isn't just because he's doing that, it's because it's needed
Right.
for that client.
Yeah.
These things are changing not because Peter's making them change, it's the
Right.
world of Medicare.
Yeah, for me, I don't like changing people. When I put someone on a plan, my wish is that the plan is stable for 2, 3, 4 years, and so they can remain in that plan. It brings continuity to them, to the insurance company, and you're always there for review. But you know, when you think about Medicare Advantage or Medicare in general, prescription drug plan or Medicare supplement plan, these are not just health decisions, right, about your doctors and prescriptions, but it's also a financial decision, the financial exposure. And so the changes that are happening is how do you manage keeping all your doctors and making sure your prescriptions are all covered, so there's less disruptions to you, but also keeping your costs down and your financial exposure down. And when these changes are happening, a lot of the financial exposure is coming out, and people are like, well, I can't afford a $45 copay or a $30 copay, or I can't afford a $5,900 max out of pocket. And so we need to make a change. And so that's what's driving the change. You know, for me, you know, it's my job to advise my customers, and they ultimately are the decision makers.
Right, now, again, please, of all the years, this year, make sure that you have that conversation with somebody local. This is very important. Don't just call those 800 numbers, because first of all, how many carriers, you know, you have so many different carriers, and it's a free service to you. Peter gets paid by the insurance company, that's how he gets paid. But more than ever, when you are looking at a plan, he has all these other ones to look at to see, is this one better or not? You can compare.
Right, we definitely use a comparison tool. We have a super tool that we use to look at over 13 plans to compare which is the right one. Sometimes we break it down specifically, whether that's a dual plan or a C-SNP plan for chronic conditions like diabetes or congestive heart failure. And then there's standard plans out there as well. There's plans for people who are on extra help, low-income subsidy for prescription drugs that are designed around that as well. And so we're constantly having to understand what's going on, and we always help our people make the right decision.
He is all about helping you make that right decision by educating you. That's what it's all about. And you love what you do, and you love making sure that people are on the right plan. Again, tomorrow is your big day, seniors. It starts tomorrow. He's already been talking to many people, 60 at least that you said, that 58 of them have made this change. Call, and let's not let anything else get in your way. Nothing. Make sure you take care of yourself, and right now it's a big time to do that. Again, that phone number to call him is 602-770-9062. It's ABCDMedicare.com.